Welcome to Season 2 of the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by community members and friends of Shekina Garden in Pai, Thailand. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hello everyone, this is Ro here sitting with my friend Ray. Hi Ray.
Hi.
We're in the sala enjoying a sweet moment after a beautiful meditation here this morning, looking at the sun on the leaves all around us and the beautiful cool breeze and enjoying the cold season here in Pai, which is a pretty short season for us here, so we really make the most of it, putting on our jackets and our warm woolly socks and enjoying being chilly.
Getting cozy.
That's right.
So great.
It's Season 2, Episode 37 of the podcast today.
And as always, our beautiful patrons who have been so faithful and so wonderful are supporting this podcast. We are raising money to keep our community running, and your patronage is part of the way that we do that. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. And you can support us for as much as you'd like a month. And just to give you an idea of some of the things it supports, we've been doing our community lunches again, which has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all these little things around the place that we have to pay for. And everything we do here is free. So it really, you supporting the podcast really makes a way for us to offer these things to travelers and spiritual seekers from around the world.
And so another way that you could support us, if Patreon isn't for you right now, is perhaps by rating or reviewing us on iTunes. That just helps get this out into the world to other people who might be looking for something like this. Or perhaps you might share it some other way. You could put it on your Instagram. You could tag us. We're at Shekina Garden on Instagram. Or you could share about this podcast on Facebook or send a link on to friends or families. And we want to give a shout out and a big hello today to our friends in northern Italy, Tina and Jonna.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening. It's really nice to meet you on Instagram and hear about your journey a little bit. And thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, beautiful. So today's meditation is a Lectio Divina on John 14, verses 18 to 21, and it's guided by Naomi. And so she's going to do the meditation in two parts on the recording, which is starting with some exercises to kind of bring your mind to a place where you're ready to meditate away from the normal pace of the day in a different kind of pace and different kind of mindset. And then she'll guide you through the meditation in a beautiful way with space between the verses. And for the third part, we recommend that you spend some time really going through what your experience was. If you're meditating with others, which is a beautiful practice, I highly recommend it. After so many years, it's always brought me closer to the people around me. You can just take some time to listen to each person in the circle in some way, either by passing an object or just taking turns. And just take some time to really hear from each person without correcting or commenting on their experience. And then if you're on your own, though, you can spend some time writing in a journal or making some bullet points or making a little drawing or a voice recording. Just some way to bring it with you into the rest of your day.
Let's begin. Welcome to meditation this morning, friends. Just take a moment to maybe have a little wriggle or a little stretch. Listening to what your body needs today.
physically before we enter the stillness. This morning we'll be doing a Lectio Divina meditation, or what is called the divine reading. In David Benner's book, he writes, although it is often treated as a technique, Lectio Divina is not really a procedure or even a method, at least not a single method. It is more of an approach and an expectation. It arises out of a desire to not simply hear the words of scriptures, but also encounter the word behind the words. In Lectio Divina, what we seek is not information or motivation, but communion and union with God. Lectio Divina treats scriptures not as a text to be studied or a set of truths to be grasped, but as the living word, always alive and active, always fresh and new. And so, friends, it's with that posture that we come today. Not to study, not to find necessarily answers, but to be with God, to meet with God, to have communion with God. Take a moment to just search your heart and your spirit and see if in fact that is your posture today. Maybe offering up a prayer or a blessing or some kind of consent to God to say, I am here to meet with you. Throughout the meditation, you may find yourself distracted. That is completely normal. Meditation is the practice of returning. Returning to breath, returning to our intention to meet with God, and returning our focus on the divine. So if you find yourself distracted, if you find yourself far off thinking about something completely different, with gentleness and grace, just remind yourself to return to the breath. Return to the meditation. And return to the intention of meeting and having communion with the divine. Often the hardest thing about meditation is the act of coming to meditation, of thinking, do I really have time for this? What about all the things I need to do? Maybe even thinking of snacks, or doing anything but being in this moment. And so take a moment, excuse me, to just take a little inventory. Thinking about things you need to do later on. Thinking about burdens that you are currently carrying. Thoughts that are swirling. And just imagine yourself placing all those things, maybe in a basket in front of you. They are safe in that basket, and they will still be there at the end of the meditation to pick up if you choose. In this visualization, just reminding yourself that the world will keep turning if you stop for just this time. Surrendering to the fact that there's something bigger than you in control. And knowing for now that this is the most important place for you to be. You might like to maybe pop a lid on that basket and just move it behind you. And now focus on the breath. This breath that is always in the present. The breath is always now, not in the past or the future, but right now. So focus on the inhale and exhale. That one's gone now. As we spontaneously inhale once again into this very present breath. Exhaling as it floats off. Inhaling. Yoking the breath to the now, to this moment. This breath of life that fills our lungs. The gift of grace and the gift of God. I'll be reading the passage over a few times, but on this first reading, I just want to invite you to let the words wash over you. Don't try to analyze them too much, but just hear these as the words from a friend. Seeing what they bring, this is the words of Jesus. I will never abandon you like orphans. I will return to be with you. In a little while, the world will not see me, but I will not vanish completely from your sight. Because I live, you will also live. At that time, you will know that I am in the Father. You are in me, and I am in you. The one who loves me will do things I have commanded. My Father loves everyone who loves me. And I will love you and reveal my heart, will, and nature to you. On this second reading, I just want to invite you to begin to wrestle with these words. As David Benner reminded us at the beginning of the meditation, this practice is an expectation. It arises out of a desire not to simply just hear these words, but to encounter the Word, Logos, the Word made flesh, behind the words. So as I read this a second time, see if you can begin to hear the Word behind the words. What are they stirring within you? What might they be saying to you today, in this moment, in this very present moment? I will never abandon you like orphans. I will return to be with you. I will never abandon you like orphans. I will return to be with you. In a little while, the world will not see me, but I will not vanish completely from your sight. Because I live, you will also live. In a little while, the world will not see me, but I will not vanish completely from your sight. Because I live, you will also live. At that time, you will know that I am in the Father. You are in me, and I am in you. At that time, you will know that I am in the Father. You are in me, and I am in you. The one who loves me will do the things I have commanded. My Father loves everyone who loves me, and I will love you and reveal my heart, will, and nature to you. The one who loves me will do the things I have commanded. My Father loves everyone who loves me, and I will love you and reveal my heart, will, and nature to you. Begin to move this head knowledge now into heart knowledge. Take a moment to check in with the wisdom of your body. As you hear these words, what do you feel? Where do you feel it? Check in with the emotions. What emotions are rising up? Don't try to suppress them, just let them rise. Be curious about them. Just noticing what the divine may be speaking to you through not just your head, but your whole embodied self. Your emotions. Every part of you. I will never abandon you like orphans. I will return to be with you. In a little while, the world will not see me, but I will not vanish completely from your sight. Because I live, you will also live. At that time, you will know that I am in the Father, you are in me, and I am in you. The one who loves me will do the things I have commanded. My Father loves everyone who loves me, and I will love you and reveal my heart, will, and nature to you. Gather up all those emotions, sensations in the body, and thoughts in your hands, and just take a moment with these open hands, offering them to Jesus. As you have sat before the Christ with those open hands, now in our final reading, we're just going to let the divine begin to fill up those hands again. with the very heart, will, and nature of Jesus. This is a posture of listening. We have wrestled with our minds. We have felt with our bodies and our emotions. And now, with hands open, we listen for the quiet whisper. There'll be a longer pause at the end of this reading, just to give space. I will never abandon you like orphans. I will return to be with you. In a little while, the world will not see me, but I will not vanish completely from your sight. Because I live, you will also live. At that time, you will know that I am in the Father. You are in me, and I am in you. The one who loves me will do the things I have commanded. My Father loves everyone who loves me. And I will love you and reveal my heart, will, and nature to you. If you have felt, whether in your mind, body, emotions, or spirit, any comfort, any peace, anything about God's heart, will, or nature, you might like to bundle those things up in your hands and treasure them in your heart, keeping them safe that you can come back and ponder them again when you feel invited to. Take a moment to thank the Divine for this time sitting together today. Take a moment to thank yourself for making the space, for being brave enough to enter the silence. For being vulnerable enough to come not knowing what would come up for you today. You might like to take a stretch, wriggle fingers and toes. Maybe take a few deep breaths, listening to what your whole embodied self is asking as we move out of this time of solitude with the Divine and back into the company of others.
Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.